Oh, hi there, and welcome back to Minecraft. I'm in Snapshot 19W34A, or 1.15, and as you can see, we now have bees. Right, so there's a few new things added to this snapshot, and the first and probably the biggest one is, of course, the bees. And I, for one, think they look adorable. They're much bigger than I thought they were going to be, which I love. I think they're huge. And obviously, you've got little baby ones here, which are even cuter. But along with bees, there's lots of new changes. So there's a bee nest, which spawns randomly in the world, from what I understand. Now, this one I placed myself. I actually don't know where they spawn. I've been too lazy to look, so I've come in creative and made it for the sake of this video. So if they don't actually naturally spawn in trees, I apologise for that. But, full disclosure. So the bee nest will spawn naturally in your world. You cannot craft that as far as I'm aware, but it will spawn naturally. But you can craft the beehive, which looks a bit like this. And easy to craft. You just need, obviously, 6 bits of wood, 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, and then some honeycomb in the middle. So let's just do that just so you can trust me, because I'm not making it up. Do that, and then you have a beehive. Then you can place that down in the world, and you can place it on the floor, you can place it on top of something. It can be under a block, beside a block, on top of a block, wherever you want. That seems quite flexible. And where do you get the honeycomb from, you ask? Well, that's quite simple. If you get a pair of shears and you go over to a bee's nest, which is the sort of orangey one, not this one, that's the hive, that's the nest. If you go up to this, you'll notice there's 2 different states. There's this one where it's not dripping, that means it's not full, and this one that is dripping, which means it is full. So if you come up to that and then just right click, that should give out some honeycomb. So we've obviously got 3 bits from there. They do, as you can see, they do get quite aggressive. They're quite protective over there, honey. So don't stay too close because they'll sting you. Their eyes go red and they get very angry. And yeah, it gives you a little poison for a bit, but it's really easy to get it. Just shears on there, and well, I mean, they don't mind me already. Spoke too soon. Never mind. But yeah, you want to be careful with that. But it's easy to get, and then from there you can obviously make the beehive, and then you can move it wherever you want. But surely that's not the only use for it. No, of course it isn't. You can also get honey out of it. So if you get a glass bottle and you just come over it, and if we just right click there, or that one, one of them should be fine. One of them somewhere. There we go. That one had some in. So right click it, and then and they obviously get angry again still. But that gives us some honey, which does get away from me. He's on a mission. You eat that. That gives you 3 drumsticks. Not that I needed them, but yeah, that's easy, and they just keep coming for you. But yeah, that's a nice handy way of getting food. It's quite a good food, to be honest. Just focus on the bees as well for a second. If you have some flowers, they really like flowers. So let me just wander over towards these guys. They're all obviously happily just going around and just doing anything. If I just do this, they all go crazy for flowers, and that is like their most favourite thing. So you can do that, and then we can just, well, they'll obviously do what they can to get near the flowers. They'll go pollinate them, and then they'll go back to the beehive or the bee's nest to deposit the honey. But if you feed them it, right click obviously, they get love hearts. And then they can actually be bred to make baby ones, which is also really, really cool. There we go, parrots and the bats. I got that one. That's a true fact. But yeah, they're generally quite passive unless you're either stealing from them or you punch one. But if you punch one, they all get really angry, and then, it doesn't end too... I mean, I can fight my way out of it. Oh. Okay, well, yeah, they can definitely kill. Well, that was fun. Okay, so I want to test a few other things on this as well before we move on. So I've just put a few things here just to see what happens. So we've got obviously one of each next to a piston, and they do not get moved by pistons. So I was interested in that. I've also placed redstone lamps next to each of them, and I've been watching for a while, and they don't seem to conduct redstone. So yeah, there's a thing. And I've also going to put dispensers here with shears to see what would happen. Now, that's not actually full yet, so I might have to wait for it, but that does actually work. Brilliant. So that's good as well. They don't attack. So the dispenser will automatically do that. So we could set that up as an auto... Hold on. Wait there. Okay, so that's given me a really good idea. So I've gone ahead and made a contraption 3 times. Very, very simple to make. We've got an observer facing that way. We've got the bee's nest in the middle, and we've got the observer sorry, the observer, and then the dispenser facing this way. In this one, I've put shears. In this one, I put a bucket, and this one, I put a glass bottle. So hopefully those will work. What we'll do is I want to test something else real quick, and while those are filling up, I want to test something else out, and we'll come back to it. I just want to test to see what tools work best to pick these up and whether you can actually get them afterwards. So I've got 2 shovels, 2 axes, and 2 pickaxes. All of them, I've got 1 of each being standard and 1 being silk touch. So if we just go standard one first of all, don't get it back, and it doesn't, not brilliant. Okay, interesting. I'm getting under attack. Right, I think the axe is probably ever so slightly quicker, but I don't get an item from any of them. So let me just have a quick look without dying. Get one from there. Oh. Get one from there. Okay, so Silk Touch works. And where's... I didn't test the pickaxe. Where's the pickaxe? Yeah, they all work with Silk Touch. Probably the axe is better, but... yeah. I'm going to die again, aren't I? Well, he's gone off. He's gone off. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Poof. Okay, sorted. Yeah, so I would probably use the axe myself personally. It just seemed ever so slightly quicker. Doesn't seem a lot in it, to be honest, but I think that seemed quicker. And certainly Silk Touch, it means you get these, which means you can actually move them wherever you want into your base. So let's just come over here. We can already see that this is working. This is shearing stuff, and we are getting automatic honeycomb farm. This one is doing nothing. Oh, that's because the bucket's not in it. Okay, we'll try that again. This... Where did that go? Hang on. We need to test this again. Okay, so that's officially dripping. Therefore, the bucket does absolutely nothing. So that's confirmed. This one... Hang on, it was dripping before, weren't they? Okay. Do you mind? I'm trying to do science here. Eat this. At least we get a source of food. And that's probably the same, isn't it? Do you mind? Guys, don't work with bees. Right, okay. Let's do that. Run away. Okay, yeah, so that actually does work. Just needs to make sure that the state changes. The water bottle needs to be in. Running away. Right. I'm going to have to kill all of these in a minute. They really don't like me getting near to their... I don't want your honey. Seems a bit laggy. Can you go away? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits. Interesting. Excuse me, I'm trying to do science here. Anyway. So this obviously works. What basically we need to do is make sure that... I'm going to jump in creative. Okay, here we go. You need to make sure that the water is in there. Obviously, that changes the state. Once that then becomes full, that changes state, that picks up from there, and then that carries on working. And that will essentially work twice in theory. But obviously, you put more bottles in there, it will last longer. This one doesn't work, so there's no point trying it with the bucket. I just want to give it a go anyway. And this one does seem to work with honeycombs, so it's a good way of automatically getting both of those. I'm going to certainly try and use it. And now that we know that just fired off, where did those honeycombs go? Or maybe that's because it's not full yet. Yeah, maybe it has to be full before it can... That could be an issue. We'll have to see what happens with that. But I definitely did do earlier. I saw them all flying off, so that definitely worked. And this one does work. So yeah, we can get automatically... That's a food source straight away, easy. And you get Silk Touch, you can make that, no problem. I haven't really found much of a use for these yet, to be honest. I think this is only my opinion. That bee just died. Weird. Only my opinion, but I think that might increase the radius of which these bees can travel. I might even test that. So if I pop one over there, and one there, and then we get some flowers, perhaps. Fly back here, get some flowers. Maybe it increases their... radius of pollination. Not 100% sure. It does seem to. Maybe that needs further testing. But one other thing I want to try as well, just because I want to see what would happen if you applied water, whether these things would break. So let's just... Okay, so that definitely doesn't break that one. And doesn't break that one. Good to know. Very good to know. Well, I was kind of hoping that we might be able to utilise these to make some sort of trap. So if you could maybe get someone to stand in a tripwire and activate this by redstone, break this with either a piston or water source or something, and then get the bees to all fly out and attack people. It doesn't seem to work. So I might have a play with that and see if I can find another way of doing that. But that would be really cool if we can come up with a way. But what is cool is the fact that this clearly works. We've just got that, and that clearly works. Forget this one, that was rubbish. But the others work. We can collect the honey, and we can collect the honeycombs, as they're called, and obviously we can then get a system to filter them away and go from there. But that's pretty much, as long as you've got bees, which you would do if you had a beehive, you've got infinite food there, and there's just nothing you need to do. Just hang around, and it's good defense. It might be interesting to see whether they'll attack other things. Actually, let's just have a zombie around. Zombie, there we go. If I pop that here, and then, oh yes, it's daytime, isn't it? Hey, come back here. Right, got one of those, and get one of those before you despawn. So let's get another one of these under here, nice and safe. Get a few more bees around. Now I am creative, but if I break... I suppose I'd better jump back, just to be safe. If I jump that, and then run, will they go for him as well as he's nearby? No, they only seem to go for me. Maybe we can work on that. Maybe we can do something with that. But I think, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. So if you enjoyed the video, if you felt like you learned something, please give it a big like and thumbs up on the video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and obviously tell your friends about it too, because if you like it, it's a good chance they will too. But as always, I've been Skiki Gamer, you've been awesome, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.